You say if this happened to you, you'd hang your head in shame, you'd run away and disappear. You'd never show your face again. But you don't hear what you're saying, you don't see what it reveals. Your lack of self-awareness shows the weakness that you conceal. You think shame is something you can hand me, like a weight I have to bear. But you don't know the road I've walked, or the battles waiting there. You don't know the nights I've conquered, you don't know the tears I've cried. You only see the person standing, you never saw the battles inside. This is resilience, this is the fire that remains. This is a heart that kept on beating through unimaginable pain. I have carried what no parent should ever have to know. I buried part of my own heart and still found the strength to grow. So say what you want, let the whispers remain. I'll survive what breaks most people. You can't make me wear your shame. You thought my scars meant I was broken, you thought my tears meant I was weak, but you never saw the courage it took to rise each week. You thought I'd fade into the silence, you thought I'd surrender my voice. But every morning that I rise again is a reminder of my choice. Because strength is not the absence of the pain that you've been through. Strength is carrying the pieces and still finding something true. This is resilience, this is the strength you can't erase. This is the light that keeps on shining when darkness fills the space. I have walked through fire and darkness, I have faced the parents' greatest fear, but the love that lives forever is the reason I am here. So bring your mind game, bring your mind game, bring every word you say, every word you say. They are smaller than the mountains I have climbed along the way. You thought if I stayed I was broken, you thought leaving was the only way. But you never knew the courage it took to face another day. You wanted me to carry shame, wanted me to hide, but I have already survived the storm that changed my entire life. This is resilience, not just a word, it's who I am. It's every scar and every tear. Every time I chose to stand, I lost a piece of my own heart, but I never lost my soul. The pain became a part of me, but it never took control. You can talk, you can judge, you can smile, read my name, but I am still here. I am still standing, and I will not leave. This is resilience, this is my story, this is my strength. Still breathing, still loving, still rising, still rising. You turn your cameras on again, same old script, same old pretend. Another night, another blame, another thumb there with my name. You say you're done, then here we go, round and round the same old show. Your silence came, what would you be without your obsession with me? You think I'm listening, hanging on every word, but while you're talking, I'm living every dream you've never heard. You don't get my story, you don't get my song, you don't get to ride where my heart belongs. You wanted the world to see me through your eyes, but truth keeps rising no matter how you try. I'm building a life, you're building another rumor. I'm counting my blessings, you're counting my viewers. God keeps opening doors no one can close, while you keep chasing shadows. I keep growing. 7 years and nothing's changed. Different title, same old game. Every road you choose to take still circles back to my name. You say you know me, but you never knew my heart. You only know the picture you tattooed it apart. I stopped carrying the weight you tried to give. You chose to stay angry. I chose to live. You don't get my story. You don't get my story. You don't get my song. You don't get to decide where I belong. Where I belong. You wanted my family, broken, my voice erased, but love is stronger than tears and hate. I'm building tomorrow. We're reliving yesterday. Every time you speak my name, you only prove my strength. I won't become what you became. I won't spend my life looking through somebody else's window. I've got children laughing, I've got dreams waiting. You only prove still shines inside my heart. I've got work to do, people to love, home to build. That's where you'll never find me living in hate. You don't get my story, you don't get my end. Every sound is true became another step I'm standing on. Every lie you whisper couldn't drown the truth. Every door you tried to close, not open, so keep saying my name. If that's all you got left, I keep building love. I'll keep building faith. I'll keep building a life that speaks louder than the noise. And one day, when the noise finally fades, I still have my family, I still have my purpose, I still have my song. Because my story is never yours to tell.
Hello, sorry, I had to fix my
You turn
lighting.
your
I think it was
cameras
set
on
for like
again.
daytime
Same
or
old
something.
script, same old pretend.
Okay,
Another
hold on, I'm gonna
night,
shut the music.
another
I just
plane,
fix this 'cause that's-
another thumbnail with
okay,
my
now the
name.
lighting's better.
You say you're done, and here
Let
we
me shut the
go.
music. Hang on.
Round and around the same old show. If silence came, what
Where's the
would
music,
you
Caroline?
be
Where's the music
without
coming
your
from? It's not just
obsession
in your
with
head,
me?
it's
You
here.
think I'm listening, hanging on every word.
This is great.
But while you're talking, I'm living every dream you've never heard. You don't get my story, you don't get
I don't
my
have many tabs
song,
open. I'm looking for the one
you
that's
don't
talking.
get to write where my heart belongs. You wanted the
Okay, got it. Let me just restart my microphone, even though... Now that should be good. And... Sorry I didn't get on last night. Hopefully you saw my... Let me just make sure you can hear me. Okay, hopefully you saw my message. When we got home at almost 2 in the morning. Oh, thanks, Debbie. And I'm sorry about your mom. Yeah, that is tough. Yep. I've been through that, with 2 parents. Not Alzheimer's, but losing, parents, and with dealing with my dad, who had a broken heart and died 364 days later. So, yeah, that part of it, yes. Sad part of life. And then there's the other part where we bury, the people die that are not supposed to die, right? Our parents were prepared, and even then it's hard, right? But then when you have stuff that is not supposed to happen, that's horrendous. But anyway, let's move on from that. It's all horrible. It's all part of life, and it's horrible, but yeah, well, you know what I'm saying. We came home, there were storms, there's somebody that lost their life. Luke, did you find out who that was yet, who died?
What did you say?
Did you find out who died in the river?
No, I haven't looked into it.
Okay, well, there was a pickup truck in the, one of the rivers down here, close to, like in the next town. And, they thought it was a search and rescue, and then they said they found the body. So there was bad flooding and everything. So it looks like he went off the road. And I say I don't know who it is. I don't know whether it's who it is. But they haven't released the name yet. But I see the people in our around our towns are saying that. No, not the Delaware River. No. It wasn't the Delaware, right, Luke? No, it was a smaller river. It was almost like a creek, I think. Yeah, it was a creek. That can get, pretty... I know creek sounds tiny, right? But no, it can open up. It feeds into the Delaware. And that's another thing. I'll tell you something. And I told my kids this. When you go hiking... I feel like I have something in my eye. Okay. When you go hiking, I said, not that we were going to get separated, but if you ever did, don't panic and always find a river and follow the river, because the river leads to it, right? The river leads to something. The river always leads to something. And, or there's railroad tracks too, if you can find those, because some, where we hike, there are railroad tracks and stuff down below. Follow them. But, and that came from this movie, and I believe it was a true story, where this father was hiking with his 3 sons, and they got split up. And the other son made it out when they thought he was like dead. And he just kept remembering what his father said. Don't panic, and find a river and follow that river. It was that called Follow the River? I don't think it was called Follow, was it? Is that the movie with the 3 boys? It's back like in Depression era, and they go hiking on a camping trip with their father, and their father said he was going to have all this time, and then he doesn't have the time, and they have to make it really fast. They were supposed to go somewhere else, but they went on this hiking trip. And I think it was the oldest son, and he was kind of like feeling his oats and stuff, and just, like upset. And then he was like fighting with the younger brothers and stuff. And something happened, and they got separated. But I told everybody that. I'm like, always remember that. Hi, Denise. Yeah. So, I think the one you're talking about is a much older movie. You know what? I don't think it is. I'm trying to think. You know what? I think the one I'm talking about. Wait a second. I think I had to do a blog review for it. I think it was on like a special screener thing. I don't think it was old. No, in fact, I know it's not old. It was a newer movie, Jet Set. Let me see. It'll be on my blog, right? Hold on. Hang on 1 minute. Hang on. Hang on, please. We've had rain for like 3 days. It's crazy. Bracelets. Whitebird. No, Whitebird was one, but Whitebird wasn't. That was about the Holocaust. Well, here's our circle line trip. I've got to send this to Gia. Hang on. I'm thinking I watched the movie Jet Set. Hang on. Unshakable Moxie. No, that wasn't that one. Adult Bullies. No. Coach Giveaway. No. I feel like... Okay, let me see. Let me see here. Movie about... Hold on. Now it's going to bother me, Jet Set, until I figure this out. Movie about... Because I think I watched it for 3 boys hiking with dad in Depression era. One gets lost. Let me see. Lost on a Mountain in Maine. And yes, I reviewed it. And it was a new, let me see. It was released in 2024, and it was adapted from the 1939 true life book, and it was set in 1939 against the backdrop of the Great Depression. 12-year-old Don Fendler, and I thought that was so weird because we knew a Donald Fender. Fenner. And this is a Don Fendler, played by Luke David Bloom, his father Donald, played by Paul Sparks, and his brothers, on what began like a harmless hike up Maine's formidable Mount Katahdin. 12-year-old Don Fender was swallowed up by fog and separated from his family. Oh, yes, and I remember he does an interview later, like as a man, and just shows this, and it just, yeah, he spends 9 grueling days trying to survive on his own in the rough terrain before finding a telephone line that leads him to safety. Yeah. And Lost on a Mountain in Maine. That's what it's called. Lost on a Mountain in Maine. Yeah, and I did it. It was either for a blog or for Instagram. It was one of those things, because I know that I watched it, and it was a new movie, and we had a screener or something. It was really good. It was a really good movie. Very heartwarming and everything. Yeah. And just remarkable courage and everything that was put out there. Yeah, it's a good movie, and I'm trying to find you guys. Here you go. Yes. I did watch the trial today, Amanda Sue. I know, you're trying to tell me, come on, get on task, right, Amanda? Stop it with your stupid stories. Let's see. I did watch the trial. And I'm going to talk about it too. Hi, Rosalita. Everybody. Oh yeah, Denise's new puppy, right? Okay, you only watched... Well, Patrick was the only one on, Debbie, except for the CVS employee and the hostess at the time at 3V. But I mean, Patrick was the only one on. Now, so it started out this morning with, there were a lot of breaks, and apparently there was a large break, and people said that was because now that Patrick... I'm going to double check this because I want to make sure. So people were saying in the chat, and I don't know how true it is, that Patrick was being attended to by medics after the 911 call. They stopped, because it was too much. Okay, they didn't let only the people in the courtroom heard the 911 call and the jury. It wasn't, it wasn't posted or played online. I mean, that they silenced the courtroom cameras. So they didn't show that. But there was very noticeably stuff going on. People crying. She broke down, Lindsay. And they took a break. And then when they came back with the CVS employee and then the 3V hostess, and then Patrick came back after that, and then they did the cross. And I will tell you something. I don't understand how... I know there's a pool camera. I know it's court TV. I know it's Law and Crime, court TV. They're one and the same now. How doesn't anyone tell them? Your defense attorney cannot be heard. He can't be heard. He doesn't wear a lavalier mic. He has a mic on a podium. He walks away from the podium. You cannot hear this man. Or you have to strain to hear him. You hear Patrick because Patrick's got a microphone in front of him. You don't hear the defense attorney unless he then walks back and stands by the mic. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And you were on a few chats. And oh my goodness, I can't believe the amount of women that are throwing her under the bus without even hearing all of the testimony. Okay. Yeah, I've seen it both ways, Jet Set, I've seen a lot of people throwing him, really turning on him badly in stuff I've been seeing. Really, really turning on him. And then when, November, and he said he took a trip to New York City for 2 days, there's been so much speculation about him with the wife he has now, saying that he was seeing her beforehand and everything, and that either that she knew the family or something because she was liking Facebook photos before any of this even happened. Have you heard any of that, Jet Set? There's a lot of stuff on that. You couldn't hear anything, right, Jet Set? It was ridiculous. And I mean, why isn't somebody getting right with the pool camera people and saying, hey, get the guy a lavalier mic if he's going to walk around? Come on. It's It's just ridiculous. It's almost like they're doing it on purpose. They don't want you to hear. It's just crazy. So, okay, yeah, so you said that, yeah. I heard that she's a fertility specialist, yes, endocrinologist fertility specialist, but I haven't heard that he may have known her. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going around that's saying that she liked their Facebook pictures. I don't know if she means on Patrick's page or Lindsay's page or whose page, but that she liked them prior to this happening. And then you have to remember that his mom was a nurse and worked in labor and delivery. And remember, his mother is the one that got that nurse practitioner for Lindsay. And, you know, I don't know, but I think he should probably clarify some of this, because they're going to town thinking like now she was trying to get back at him because he was having an affair. I mean, it's gone crazy in some chats. So let me see here now. I'm going to just see what they have. Oh, and then the weird thing is, I don't know if you guys saw this. Did you notice that Lindsay came back wearing glasses? She, and I thought, okay, maybe it is her contact lens. I thought it was weird that she even had her glasses with her if she was wearing contacts. But she came back with the glasses. I don't know. I just thought, why the glasses? I didn't understand. And then, but yeah, she didn't have glasses. And she came back wearing glasses. So that was different today, right? Patrick on the stand today, he talked about Lindsay's struggles with mental health, her mental health, and the day that he found the children. He talked about the exercise bands being tied, like somebody would tie their shoelaces without a bow, is how he described it. He talked about how he got home and placed the bags on the kitchen island, and then he had taken off his boots, put the bags on the kitchen island, called around, didn't find anybody. He said he called down the basement and didn't hear anyone, and then he went upstairs to the bedroom. He said there was blood on the doorknob, and there was blood all around the room. He said almost like someone took a hose and sprayed it. And then he saw the bed, and they showed a picture of it moved away from the wall, and the window was open. And he then ran down the stairs, went out the sliding glass door to the back where he found her. And then, they started talking about the 911 call. And then they played the 911 call, which they stopped for the, for us here, not to hear it. He talked about the exercise bands, and that the children were all face down. He said Cora was the first one. He took the band off of her, and he tried to help her, tried to give her CPR. He said Callan was next to her, also face down, did the same thing. But then when he says about Dawson, he says, I took it off his neck, but I knew he was gone. So that's why they think Dawson was killed first. They've said that, but for some reason he said that with Dawson specifically. And yeah, so that was horrific there. And let me see here. Then they talked about a phone call that he had with Lindsay about a week later. Now he says she didn't speak about the children. She spoke about herself and what she went through, is what Patrick said. And that she spoke about hearing a man's voice the day she strangled them. She heard a voice saying that if she didn't do it now, she would lose her chance or something like that. And he said she had never before mentioned a man's voice. Then the cross-examination, the defense attorney, was showing everything in the house. Oh my gosh, did she have charts on the wall? Are there toys in every room? I mean, such superficial things. Yes, okay, she has that. Does that mean that someone can't be something because they have, pictures and everything? Well, they're showing you're a dedicated mother. Okay. But it was like over the top. It was just like beating someone over the head with it. But that's what he was showing. She had charts, she had books, she had this, she had that. Did she read to them? She made green eggs and ham. She had art projects, okay? He kept saying with the gummy that it was a sleep aid. And Patrick clearly stated that it could be called a sleep aid, but he was definitely putting it out there that it's not that it was like a melatonin gummy, okay? Call it what it is. Stop trying to minimize things. No one's saying that that's what made her do anything, but, just stop. I mean, it's crazy. He's like, is that the first time she didn't like to smoke weed? Does she like this? Did she like that? He's like, no, but we had them in the house. So then they talked about the pills he had in the car. And he said that, he was looking for a safe place to put them. Not that he was like hiding them or anything like that. They talked about her journal where she wrote everything down. And then for her births, which, yes, she's a labor and delivery nurse, but the explanation of the births was so clinical. It was not like a birth, it was, she put the symbol for male or female, viable male, it's a viable male symbol, viable female symbol, their APGAR score and stuff like that. It was very clinical. So they talked about how they didn't have their their anniversary trip that was supposed to be the hotel in which she was going to get a massage. And the prosecutor wanted to point out that the misunderstanding where she thought they did came because there were text messages where they were still doing this. And then, it was canceled. Let's see. And I think a lot of that was there, but I just want to see here what we've got, if we got any more stuff that I might have missed here. Oh, he said this. Yes, let me explain this. When he said he found her laying face up in their backyard, he said that she had deep cuts on her wrist. Now, from the pictures, the cuts on the wrist don't look deep. The line on the cut on the neck looks deeper. But you know what? He said she had deep cuts on her wrist and she had a red line across her neck. So he made it seem like the opposite. And then he said, then he realized the red line was a cut. And she had told him she tried to take her own life, but did not tell him anything about the children. Let's see. And again, it was about a week after she killed the children that he had that phone call where she told him for the first time that she heard a man's voice. Let's see here. Patrick again talks about the numerous medications, says that he wasn't with her when she was taking them. He said she took them as directed, but the prosecution's like, were you near her every time she was taking a pill? You don't know that. So he said, well, he believed she took it as instructed, but we know she didn't by her own lawsuit. So the trial's going to start again tomorrow. Patrick seems to be done from now. Then they talked about the drop from the second floor bedroom window to the ground from the bottom of the window is about 12 feet. And that prosecutor asked Patrick if he was aware of that. He said, I've never measured it, but yeah, I believe what you're saying. Let's see what else. He went over the medications again. We saw the journal where a lot of times it would say slept well, but she had horrible thoughts in the AM. Yep. Let's see what else. We have bottles of medication with most of the medications in there. So what they're trying to point out is like, how is she over medicated when she really didn't take the medication? And then at one point, the defense attorney pulled, like he was just so aggravated. He was putting bottles on the side of the witness stand. He like knocked something over. He pulled her Apple Watch out. Said they didn't bother to take her Apple Watch. And then there was a sleep mask or something that he had in there. Oh, they took the children's clothing and they showed the children's clothing. And Cora had on pajamas and a robe, and Dawson had on a long sleeve shirt and just like either pajama pants or something, and the baby had on a sleeper, Mickey Mouse. Okay, let's see what else we got. Oh, yeah. One book in the cabinet is called Good Moms Have Scary Thoughts, according to the defense attorney, but Patrick Clancy didn't recall seeing that book around the house. There was also another one like the postpartum anxiety workbook that was around the house. They showed Patrick at the restaurant here picking up the food right there. Yeah, and they spoke to, like I said, the hostess who took the order from 3V, said that, Lindsay was speaking very coherently on the phone. She had no problem, answering any questions, saying anything. The woman from CVS as well said that. And then when Patrick explained that he tried to get Lindsay and then she called him back, he just thought she was in the middle of something. She didn't sound in any way that anything would have happened that happened. Not at all. So, yeah. Let's see what's going on here. I want to see. And let's see what. Court of Public Opinion is thinking. Because I think it's important to see what the Court of Public Opinion is thinking here, right? So let's see. Okay, someone said, no wonder this trial is going to take 6 weeks. The court schedules in Mass are whack. They're scheduling around her conditions, someone said, transporting her from jail, frequent breaks for positional skin pressure care during court, nursing for bowel, bladder needs, days off in between, is going to mean a lot less ground will be covered each day and week. A lot of people don't realize how much accommodation and care paraplegics need. They had a pretrial hearing that spoke vaguely about some of the accommodations she will need. She is supposed to have a gurney there and a side room brought in so she can receive care during breaks. Okay. All right. Oh, she also, let me tell you about it. They were going over notes she left for the nanny, and the notes were like so detailed, like down, cut this in a 1-inch piece, try his bottle for, this many amount of minutes. If he doesn't take that, do this, do that. So she was very regimented and very detailed. And Patrick said, they said, does that make her seem controlling or something like that? He says, no, I would do the same thing. Okay, and a lot of people don't feel that that's strange for someone that has to watch their kid. She was giving directions to a potential nanny. It didn't sound crazy. Someone said, I think the state is trying to show she's controlling. So a controlling parent who lost control decides to kill the kids rather than lose control. I don't know. None of it seemed controlling to me. I wrote a 3-page document about my baby when my parents watched her for the weekend when she was 3 months old. I wrote it because I was anxious about someone else being up all night with her or her crying a ton. I think I did too. We had to leave Ethan when he was like 2 months old with my cousin and his wife over here because we had and I wrote something up too, I'm pretty sure. Or I sat and talked with her for a long time. And that was just for a couple of hours. Okay. Moms know the intricacies of their children when they do this. Is it controlling? Is it anxiety? Sure, I don't know. Okay. So someone said, did anyone else see the terrible TikTok comments about Patrick? Yeah. TikTok, I don't think it's great for true crime. So somebody that was there said they regretted being present to hear the 911 call. Okay, let's see here. Another person said it was a reporter from Boston 25, and they had it was the most gut-wrenching thing they've ever heard. So, yeah. Someone said, I'm truthfully sick to my stomach seeing the children's pajamas and the exercise bands. Can't imagine how horrific it would be in the courtroom to have to hear the 911 call. Okay. Oh, he also said he had never heard about psychosis until after this happened. The judge also told the jury today that you cannot, decide someone's guilt or innocence based on that you feel sorry for them or the opposite, you're angry with them. You cannot do it on emotion. You have to look at the evidence. You have to look at the facts. You can't get wrapped up in, pity or, anger or things like that. You have to be objective and look at the evidence. They did ask him, didn't her wounds have stopped bleeding when you saw her? And he was like, I don't know. And they said, but didn't you tell the 911 caller that they asked you to put pressure and you said there was no need or something? And he said, yeah, or something like that. Some people feel the prosecutor is too aggressive with Patrick Clancy. I don't know if the prosecution is very likable, and people are saying that the defense attorney may be connecting with the jurors more. Let's see. Trying to get over here. See what else they're saying here, if anything is. The state really broke this one open on the first day, as they should. It's their case, but all the framing I've seen around this case has been failure by medical professionals, when the truth seems to be that Lindsay didn't engage in treatment or courses of medication. The husband getting bushwhacked by that information was pretty crushing. He's an excellent witness and wholly credible, but he has a clearly held belief. When he referred to when his children passed away, as though it were an act of God, I wonder how he's been processing things since Monday. Hopefully he's all right and has the support he needs. I imagine if we get a welter of medical witnesses testifying to a pattern of Clancy's lack of engagement, treatment, medication, it's going to be nearly impossible for the defense, but early days yet. Okay. Someone said the prosecutor's a nightmare. She certainly needs to make her case, but she couldn't have found other witnesses to try to make some of these points, though. She probably should have tried that, seeing as she's only gotten increasingly hostile towards the dad. Let's see. I definitely don't agree with most of these comments. I think the prosecution is doing a good job at getting their point across. Reddington is all over the place with this timeline. He misspoke several times. He did misspeak on things. He did, because when he said that, Lindsay took her medication you said that, right? And he didn't say that. He didn't say that. Patrick said I wasn't near her when she took the medication. Yeah, I love you. Mm-hmm. Are you working tomorrow? Okay. Okay. So my hair is all from this rain. It's like a crazy person. Where was I? I can't believe the CVS lady actually had to testify. Yeah, I mean, they have to, because she has to tell how she spoke on the phone. That's important. Okay. The kids' clothes. The reason they're showing the kids' clothes is that's, okay, the Commonwealth, that's prosecution. They're, want you, just like the prosecutor in the Tim Jones case, wanted you to know those kids. And I mean, I never saw a prosecutor do it as well as the one in the Tim Jones case, because he made you know every one of those children and believe that you're there to get justice for those kids that didn't get a chance to live their lives out. They're trying to show you the tiny pajamas and the robe that Cora had on, because they need the jury to understand these were real children, right? And they were little, they were small. The little pajamas, okay, for the baby Callan are like this big. And that's they're doing that for a reason. They're not just doing that to be cruel. They're doing it because they want justice for those kids. That's why they're doing that. They're trying to show those kids existed. They had a life. They were very small. They didn't get to live their life out because somebody decided that they were going to take their life. Now, in Tim Jones' case, he said he was insane. It wasn't postpartum. He got the death penalty. Now she's saying this. I think, and people are saying that they think it's very different when a man kills his children and says he has some insanity, even if it's like from PTSD, from a war, whatever it is, he is not given the grace or whatever. But like, I mean, with Tim Jones, he was not nice to the kids, okay, at all. It wasn't that he just flipped a switch. He had lots of things going on. But you know what I'm saying. So people are saying that if it was a man and said this, nobody would be doing this stuff. Like, there's a lot of emotions around this case. Okay. Somebody said, I just implore everyone to watch Lindsay Clancy's face at the very beginning of the day when the jury's walking in. Her eyes flutter. She looks at them with an expression of sadness, pain, and fear. She did it at the end, too. I saw that. Then watch her closely at the end. Obviously, I saw right after the judge says the court is in recess. I didn't see. She almost smirks at her attorney and rolls her eyes. I hope someone else notices. I didn't see that. I saw her look at the jury again like, please, that kind of a look. I don't know what you guys saw. Let me see where you are. Hi, Megan Els. There seems to be a conflicting report on whether he's married. No. He did marry. He is definitely married. There's no conflicting report. He is married. And he's supposed to have a son as well. They didn't let the public hear. No, they didn't let it hear. No, that was a motion that was ruled on. Even when times are so that she was left to battle them alone. Maybe he was tired of dealing with it. I don't know. Hi, Chrissy. He kept on taking deep breaths. I'm sure it hurts very much without just children. I know being with someone mental illness can be very rough. Sure, he thinks about his 3 children. Yeah, that has to be horrible to hear that call. Yeah, to hear that. That's terrible for him to have to relive that. From just what I've heard about the description of it, it's horrible. Here. I actually showed his wife and everything a few days ago. Even the defense attorney said Patrick is remarried and has a family. So his wife's name is Rachel Dennis. I want to see something here. What is up with this? Oh my gosh, come on. What the? That's not it. Hold on a second. There's something's wacky with my what the heck is going on? It won't let me log into one of my accounts here. What the heck? This is crazy. Let's get rid of this. Stupid thing I had. Why is it doing this? Should be saved in here. What the heck? That's not it. No, that's not it. Hold on a minute. What the heck? Oh, no wonder why. This is so dumb. Why just can't I go back to where I was? It's not that, it's not that. It's not that, it's not that. Oh my gosh. Hang on, let me just look at one thing here. This is so dumb. Stupid thing just locked me out of my account where I'm trying to look for something. Really dumb. What is up with this? Something is really messed up on my computer here, guys. Let me just try one thing because I just don't understand why. This is so dumb. All right, this is really so freaking dumb. Hold on, I'm getting freaked out because I have to get back into my account. Just hang on one second. This is dumb. Oh, wait, here. Wait a second. No, that's not it. What the hell is going on over here? Hold on, I just have to try to do this on my phone. I'm sorry. I'm freaking because it's a big account of mine that's not letting me log on now. It's telling me I have the wrong password, and I know that that's not true. Okay, I can log on my phone without an issue. Okay, I just was scared my account was hacked. Okay, sorry. Okay. All right, I feel better. Okay, I can get on my phone, so I'll just fix it later. Somehow it's I don't think something's syncing. Now I feel better. Oh, sorry about that. I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay, let me go back. I want to see what else has been going on today. I've been out of the loop for a few days. Then we had no electricity. I told you that, right? We got home, our electricity went out. That's why I wasn't on last night. Okay. LA-based apostle defends cult accusations after viral clips of followers shaking. What the heck is that? eBay settles for nearly $56 million after former employees terrorize a couple. What is that? eBay has settled with a Massachusetts couple over a lawsuit over an alleged harassment campaign that included stalking, threats, and the mailing of live cockroaches and spiders, a bloody pig mask, and a funeral wreath. What the heck? David and Ina Steiner, the founders of E-Commerce Bites, a trade publication where the couple reports on various e-commerce companies, including eBay, in an effort to assist e-commerce sellers, filed a lawsuit on July 21st of 2021 in the federal court in Massachusetts. Scally Murphy Law PC represented the Steiners, and they announced the nearly $56 million settlement. What the heck? The following is a press release issued from Scally Murphy Law, PC, July 27, 2026. Everett, Massachusetts. Okay, the law firm announced their landmark civil rights settlement resolving the civil litigation of e-commerce bites against eBay. Several former eBay executives and other employees arising from the company widely publicized 2019 cyber stalking and harassment campaign designed to stop their reporting. Isn't that crazy? So, e-commerce bites is they have a newsletter, let's see, and I guess they spoke about eBay, and then eBay employees went after them. Did anybody ever hear about this? The settlement follows over 6 years of criminal and civil proceedings. In addition to substantial compensation for the plaintiffs, the resolution includes significant charitable commitments, personal financial contributions from former eBay executives, a public statement by eBay, and no confidentiality restrictions. And under the settlement, the plaintiffs will receive $48.7 million in compensation, including $46.15 million from eBay, $2 million from the former eBay executive CEO Devin Wenig, $500,000 from former eBay executive Wendy Jones, $50,000 from former eBay executive Steve Weimer. eBay will fund $6 million in charitable contributions to various nonprofit organizations. Former eBay executive CEO Devin Wenig will contribute an additional $1 million to a charity dedicated to protecting First Amendment rights in the name of Ina Steiner. eBay will issue a strongly worded, it says that strongly worded, public statement regarding the conduct of the former eBay CEO Devin Wenig and former eBay executive Steve Weimer and Wendy Jones in connection with the events occurring in Natick, Massachusetts, and the culture of the company in 2019. The settlement contains no confidentiality provision, allowing the Steiners to publicly discuss the facts of this case and its resolution. Additionally, and separate settlements were reached with all other eBay employees named in the civil action. Scally Murphy Law was the first law firm involved in this matter in 2019, while the harassment campaign was still underway. David and Ina Steiner contacted the firm seeking help. Scally Murphy Law assisted the Steiners, who were ultimately able to involve the Natick police and FBI investigators. The United States Department of Justice, through the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Massachusetts, indicted former eBay employees Jim Bow, David Harville, Brian Gilbert, Stephanie Pop, Stephanie Stockwell, Philip Cook, and former eBay contractor Veronica Zay. Each ultimately pled guilty to their roles in the terror campaign. eBay itself was also criminally charged and entered into deferred prosecution. Maybe I did report on this a while ago. With the U.S. Department of Justice agreeing to pay the maximum available criminal fine of $3 million and undertake serious corrective action, the Steiners filed a civil lawsuit against all the defendants in 2021. In the spring of 2024, after changing counsel, the Steiners retained Scally Murphy Law, Diller Law, LLP, Finkelstein and Partners LLP, Finkelstein, Blankenship, Freya, Pearson, and Garber LLP to lead the civil litigation. This case was always about more than obtaining financial recovery. From the beginning, our clients wanted to uncover the truth, protect journalists and publishers, hold those responsible accountable, deter future corporate misconduct, and help ensure others would never have to endure what they experienced. Through years of discovery, motion practice, and trial prep, we were able to accomplish those objectives. while securing meaningful compensation for two wonderful people. We believe this resolution sends a clear message that corporations and their executives cannot engage in this type of misconduct without facing significant consequences. Additional background information regarding the litigation, the criminal proceedings, and the settlement is available upon request. Wow. Huh. That's crazy. I'll look a little more into that. Oh, here's Lindsay's oldest and closest friend opened up to the New York Post. Let's see what happens here. Let's see. In the depths of the pandemic, Chelsea DeFina set up a Zoom group to help fellow moms keep each other accountable in their fitness journeys. The attendees were an eclectic mix and included a woman named Lindsay Clancy. DeFina knew Lindsay from her middle school cheer squad and remembered her fondly as a sweet girl. She hadn't seen her in person in more than a decade, so she was excited when she joined. Lindsay was pregnant with their third child. She soon impressed DeFina and the other group members. She would attend nearly every session, working out even when she was 7 or 8 months pregnant. Sometimes her two oldest kids would pop into the frame, working out alongside the ladies. She was an inspiration, DeFina said. When Lindsay gave birth to another boy in May 2022, she stopped checking in. DeFina reached out but didn't hear back. I assumed she was busy keeping up with a newborn and toddlers. I didn't believe when I learned what happened. It didn't make sense. Okay, so we know what happened, and then let's see what else she says. Did she say anything else? That's all she says? She knew her before. Okay, there's another friend here. Let's see. I'm trying to see who it is. Another who only agreed to speak anonymously said, I just want to be truth put out about her, since everything going on so far is painting her like a monster. It's been awful to witness as someone who looked up to Lindsay for so many years. The system failed her and she doesn't deserve what happened. Her family didn't deserve to be ripped apart. And I believe this tragedy could have been prevented had she received the proper care. I don't know. Now they're just putting in just random people they're not naming. I get very nervous when they don't name people because it could be anybody. Oh, see, these are Lindsay's parents. I saw these people in court and I said they must be Lindsay's parents. These are Lindsay's parents. Yeah, I saw them in court. They sit behind her. That's Paula and Michael Musgrove. And Patrick kept reminding me of like Ben Stiller's younger brother. Okay, but that's that. And I just see another thing. Remember that House of Horrors in Ohio? Let's see. Remember they bought big bottles of oil? Someone suggested one of the, the neighbors said suggesting they may have been using it to increase the children's calorie intake, although this claim has not been formed. Come on. Okay, that's you just wanting to report something. Stop. Body of a 10-year-old recovered from a New Jersey river, and a search continues for the missing girl. Oh no, don't tell me that was on another Oh, that's from the flood. Yeah, the floods are just killing people around here. Terrible. I told you there's somebody here in town. Uh-oh. Hold on a minute. A nationwide recall for thyroid medication. Hold on a second. For which one? What the hell is going on? Hold on a minute, guys. What? Below are the affected packages. 25 milligrams, 100 tablets. 50 milligrams, 100 tablets. 75 milligrams, 100 tablets. 88, 112, 125, 150. 125, 150. What is it? It's levothyroxine sodium tablets. But is it... But they're packs of 10 boxes. I don't get mine in blister packages. I get Synthroid, not the generic. And that's why they gave me the generic one time, and we go into a different... I said, no, I can't have that. And they got me the one I take. But what is this? If you're on thyroid medication... Check this out. I don't know what they're doing here, but okay, there they have a spike in that cyclospora infections in Nebraska. I hope you're doing okay, Paradise. Man who won $167 million lottery has been arrested for the 4th time since he's won. Storms leave flooded roads, fallen trees, and damaged homes across New Jersey. Dad of a 10-year-old boy who was saved by a heroic teen lifeguard speaks out on the death-defying rescue. Thank God. Mitchell family killings case. What is this? When did this happen? When did this happen? Mitchell family killings in Texas? A wealthy restaurateur, 52, kills his pregnant wife, their 2 young children, and himself in a horrific murder-suicide at their $1.2 million home in Houston's smartest suburb. Did this just happen? I'm trying to get a date on this. I really do think they're going back and just bringing up flooding causes destruction across New Jersey communities. 4,000-year-old disease is on the rise thanks to armadillos. Where's that happening? Where? What state? Brevard County, Florida. Let's see. 12-year-old member. Oh, Nick Reiner. Yeah, I heard this one. Let's see what this is. He was disciplined for an extremely hostile jail shower incident. Let's see what this is about. Let me change the graphic over here. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. I know. Nick Reiner was reportedly disciplined in jail after he allegedly became extremely hostile towards deputies while waiting to be escorted back to his cell following a shower. He was, extremely hostile, creating a verbal disturbance, refusing to follow rules, and not listening to any commands. He was yelling, screaming, being disrespectful, and shouting many profanities. According to the Insider, Reiner had finished showering and changed into a fresh set of county-issued inmate clothing. However, he became increasingly frustrated that deputies had not immediately returned to escort him back to his cell, but instead were responding to an apparent overdose that occurred in another unit. He became very impatient. He was upset and hostile because no one was coming back right away and he wasn't attended to. He had finished showering and changed and wanted to return to his cell. When it took too long, he became frustrated and angry. The deputy allegedly called for backup, prompting approximately 3 additional guards to respond. Despite Nick's erratic behavior, the source noted the confrontation never became physical. Nick was issued a disciplinary write-up for allegedly violating the jail rules. He also lost several inmate privileges for 5 days, including his phone calls, his visitation, and his commissary access. A deputy supervisor issued the disciplinary report, which was later reviewed by a supervising officer. A disciplinary officer then met with Nick in his cell to explain the violation, discuss his behavior, and notify him of the temporary sanctions. The alleged incident unfolded on 8:15 a.m. on April 27th inside Tower 1 at the Los Angeles County Twin Towers Correctional Facility. The 32-year-old is housed alone in a special medical observation jail unit under heightened security measures. 'Earlier this month, a source close to the Reiner family revealed that Nick is rapidly deteriorating behind bars. He is rapidly deteriorating. No one would recognize him. He is almost bald because he had to keep his hair super short to keep the bugs out. And he is super skinny because of the intense medication he is on. His eyes are very sunken in. Nick has not been well for many years, but before jail, some of his personality could be recognized. Not now. He's babbling like a child, totally out of it. It's so bad his lawyers have a hard time talking to him. Nick was arrested by Los Angeles Police Department officers on December 14, 2025. That's when he killed his parents, right? Okay. Stranger shoves a man 62 into New York City subway station's pillar, fracturing his skull. Wow. Legionnaire's outbreak kills 6 in Manhattan as 90 test positive on the Upper East Side. 30 Pennsylvania property owners face eminent domain as data center power line expands. Where's that happening? Luzerne County. Wow. These data centers. Let me see here. Oh, Virginia residents push back on a 900 megawatt data center campus, warning of water, noise, and heat. Wildfires are prompting executions across Washington state. Oh, hold on. They had a double execution in Florida. Let's see. When did they... Or is this another old thing? Hold on. Oh, no. They just... Okay, this is current. So... They don't look that old. Not in these pictures. But let's see. What happened here? Florida, death row inmates' last meals revealed. There's a historic double execution. Let's see what happened. The last meals of 2 Florida death row inmates who were executed less than 5 hours apart have been revealed. It's become the first, Florida, after the state became the first in nearly a decade to carry out a double execution in one day. Former police officer, I was going to say he looks like a police officer, that guy. He reminds me of the Golden State Killer, doesn't he? The one with the bald head? James Duckett, 68, and Dominic Ochacone, who at 80 became the state's oldest prisoner in modern history to be executed. Ochi. So at least they waited to 80, right? Died by lethal injection Tuesday in the same death chamber at Florida State Prison near Stark. Duckett, who was sentenced to death for R-ing and murdering an 11-year-old girl while on duty near Orlando in 1987, asked for eggs, grits, bacon, biscuits, and chocolate milk for his last meal. Ochacon, a murderer who gunned down his ex-girlfriend's parents in 1986 in Holiday, just north of Clearwater, requested eggplant parmesan. I think that's the first time I've ever heard anybody say, but it sounds like he was Italian. A salad. I guess he wasn't worried about the cytos, whatever, right? Garlic bread and a Pepsi. The last state to hold back-to-back executions in one day was Arkansas in April 2017, and the last time 2 inmates were executed on the same day in Florida was in 1964. Duckett was the 11th, and Ochacon was the 12th inmate executed in Florida this year, after the U.S. Supreme Court on Tuesday denied their appeals and their request for stays of execution. So, yeah, let's see here what we have. Both of the inmates woke up in death watch cells at 4:45 a.m. Tuesday. Duckett said, "No, sir," when asked if he wanted to make a final statement. And about 4 minutes after the 3-drug injection began, the prison warden shook him and shouted his name, receiving no response. He was pronounced dead at 1:19 p.m. His attorney, Mary Elizabeth Wells, previously said that he had consistently maintained his innocence and blasted Florida's handling of DNA evidence. But relatives of his victim, Teresa McAbee, spoke of their relief at the sentence being carried out after decades of pain following her brutal death. "I waited nearly 40 years to have him dead," said the victim's mom, Dorothy Tula. Before breaking down, "This man took advantage of his badge," said Tracy McFall Buskirk, the girl's cousin. And this is the victim here. Let's put her picture up there. Let me make it smaller. Here we go. That is Teresa May McAbee. She was kidnapped, arred, and murdered by Duckett. 87? Yeah, May 11th, 1987. He was the sole police officer on patrol duty in Mascot, near Orlando, and witnesses said they saw McAbee getting into his patrol car before her mom reported her missing hours later. Her body was found in a nearby lake the next morning with DNA and hair collected from her body found to be probable matches to Duckett. Fingerprints matching Duckett and the victim were found on his patrol car. The second execution got underway at the scheduled hours of 6 p.m. with Ochacon strapped to a gurney with an IV in his arm and a spiritual advisor nearby. "Sorry for all the hurt I caused," Ochacon said when asked if he wanted to make a final statement. "I know it don't mean much, but I'm sorry. I never meant to do what I did." He also thanked all of his Christian brothers for visiting him over the years. Ochacon spent nearly 4 decades on death row after being sentenced in the murders of Raymond and Martha Artzner at their home in Holiday on June 10th, 1986. He had shown up to the property where his former girlfriend, Anita Garrity, was living with her parents and 2 children, but after she refused to speak with him, he returned with a handgun, according to investigators. Ochacon then cut the phone lines and shot the Artzners while Garrity fled with her daughter. He did not deny the shootings, but his legal team argued at trial that the murders were not premeditated. Okay, so he had to be 40 years old when he did this. 39, right? Something like that. And they said where she lived with her 2 children. It says she left with her daughter. Lawyers for Ochacon, who would have turned 81 next month, had argued that executing him was cruel and unusual punishment due to his age and condition and therefore unconstitutional. The oldest prisoner to have been executed is Walter Moody Jr., who was put to death at 83 in Alabama in 2018 after being convicted over a mail bomb campaign in 1989 that killed a federal judge and a civil rights attorney. Earlier this month, Dennis Sokor briefly became the eldest inmate when he was put to death at age 74 for killing a woman he met at a New Year's Eve party in 1982. Another 74-year-old inmate, Dusty Ray Spencer, who was just 1 week younger than Sokor at time of execution, was put to death in June. Almost half of the executions carried out across the U.S. since the beginning of 2025 have been in Florida. Okay. See what else we have here. So now there's a new Netflix, The Idaho Murders, College Nightmare. Let's see what's on with this. Okay, let's see what is this. The chilling murders of the University of Idaho students Maddie Mogen, Kaylee Gonsalves, Xander Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin continue to generate national attention. There are still unanswered questions about what really happened when Brian Kohberger entered 1122 King Road in November of 2022. Netflix 3-part documentary, The Idaho Murders, College Nightmares, offers an inside look at the case while honoring the late students. Director Sky Borgman and executive producer Joe Berlinger assembled interviews with the victims' families and friends, along with members of law enforcement. This sounds very familiar to one they already did, didn't it, with the interviews of the family and everything? To share never before revealed details about the case, which is still making headlines. Kohberger was arrested more than 6 weeks after breaking into Moscow home and stabbing them to death. He initially stood silent at his arraignment, prompting the judge to enter the not guilty pleas on his behalf. Law enforcement and the victims' families were prepared for a lengthy trial, which was scheduled to begin August of 2025. Several family members noted in the documentary that they hoped Kohberger would get the death penalty. I want for him to die, said Kaylee's mother, Christy Gonsalves. I will not say his name, never ever, nope, absolutely not. Justice would only be if the kids came back, and that doesn't work that way. The kids are gone, they are never coming back, but I want him to die. A little over 1 month before the court proceedings were set to begin, Kohberger pled guilty to all 4 murders and a burglary charge as part of a deal that took the death penalty off the table. He was sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences and an additional 10 years for burglary. On July 27th, Kohberger filed a petition that seeking to challenge his conviction, saying that he had an absolute claim of innocence and wanted to stand trial. My actual innocence is my truth, and the plea hinged on by false promises and blatant disinformation must be withdrawn. Okay. Let's see. F. The responding officer can be heard saying, entering the first room where Ethan and Xana were found. I think we have a homicide. 2 college-age people appearing both to be deceased. Lots of blood. When a second officer enters the home, the first appears at a loss for words as he describes the fatalities. Body cam footage also shows the victim's friend, Hunter Johnson, being escorted out of the home after speaking with the police. Johnson was previously revealed to have discovered Ethan and Xana. Let's see. And then they said that F word again when they found Kaylee and Maddie, and someone said, "Oh man." Then they called for everybody at the police department, reporting that 4 deceased students had been found in the house. Xana's dad, Jeff Kernuttle, reveals in the documentary that he tried to get Xana and Ethan to attend a Washington State University football game. The day before the murders, he was visiting his other daughter, Jasmine, who was a student at WSU at the time. Jasmine said that Xana and Ethan really wanted to attend the University of Idaho football game that weekend. Jeff recalls pushing for them to make the trip to Washington State University. They didn't make it over there that night, he says. Jeff previously stated that he nearly drove. See, I've seen this before, and I thought it was a documentary that was on Amazon. Has it just changed, or is this really something new? Because I remember the dad's interview. Jeff previously stated that he drove to visit Xana in Idaho after the WSU game, but had consumed too much alcohol to drive, but could have gone and things would have been different. Maybe they would have had a chance, some of them. Let's see. Xana, Maddie, and Kaylee lived in 1122 King Road House. Dylan and with Bethany and Dylan Mortensen, Bethany Funky. Dylan and Bethany were both home. Dylan heard noises, saw a masked man. Body cam footage of an officer discussing her account, which became public late last year, was shown in the documentary. One girl was in there. Did you hear that part of it? One of the responding officers says in the body cam footage there was another girl that was in here. Said a guy walking with a face mask on and locked herself in a room. Saw a guy and locked herself in a room. Heard all of this going on. Second officer said, and she didn't call last night, this girl's lucky to be alive. As the Idaho murders continue to make headlines, questions remain about why Dylan didn't call for help immediately. Let's see. People are in shock. It's traumatic. I can't imagine being that age. But I feel like this has been on. Is this really new? Let me see. Okay, let's see. Netflix, yeah, I guess it sounds just like this other one. Let's see here. It isn't about the killer. The most cathartic moment is not necessarily the capture of the perpetrator. It's an impassioned, fierce impact statement by Kaylee's older sister, Olivia Gonsalves. Olivia deliberately turns the courtroom podium towards Brian Kohlberger, who pled guilty to the murders in 2025. Okay. In order to look him in the eye. Why did the filmmakers choose a victim's first approach? Let's see. Just the documentary reveal that hasn't been shown. I don't know. Let me see here. Where are you guys? I lost you guys. Where are you? I'm willing to do, it's 1 o'clock. Hi, Linda Uribe. How are you? You missed what? Yeah. I'm willing to do a movie night for members and Patreon. What did you miss, Linda? What'd she miss? What'd you miss, Linda? Listen, Linda. What'd you miss? Another fire called Blue Fire? Yeah, fires are all over it. Terrible. France, the fires, everything. Yeah. I'm willing to do a movie night for this for members and Patreons if you guys would like that tonight. I'm going to have to see some people that are wanting to do that tonight. If you want to do that tonight, put up a number 2311, okay? 2311 if you want to do that. 2311 if you want to do that tonight while I put up the daily word puzzle. 2311 if you want to do the Idaho documentary as a movie night. Linda, yes is not what I said. 2311. 2311. Oh, about the documentary? Yeah, we're going to watch it, Linda. You come in and watch it with us. Two 2311s. 3 2311s. 4 2311s. Let me get 5 2311s. Insist, heart? Okay. Very good. What's so sad? What's so sad, Denise? What's so sad? Okay, I'm gonna, well, we need to get these last two words here. Silts. Okay, and oh, lit. It's got to be lit, right? All right, we got it. We got it. We got it. Okay, I'm going to, oh boy, we're getting to, oh, we forgot last night. Hold on a minute, you guys. What's going on? Oh, they're playing an ad. Why are they playing an ad? So we can play for free? Hold on, let me get the, we forgot we didn't get to do the daily last night because I didn't have electricity. We have to do yet last night's daily. Oh boy. Okay. Hold on, I gotta get back to the chat to see see what you guys have. Lime, I got, oh, you got mice? Okay. Mice, right? Mile. Okay. Bice. Dice. Right. Side. Jimmy. Lice. Meld. Good. Oh, how about dice? No, I did diced. I don't know what I'm thinking of. Losing it. Dime I've got up there. I did dime, didn't I? I thought I did dime. Maybe it was an extra word. Yeah, extra word. Iced. Right? Deli. Uh-oh. Extra word. Where's Murder of Crows? I don't see Murder of Crows. Hello, Murder of Crows. I don't see Murder of Crows. Oh, shite. Bye. Okay. Lied. Yeah, lied. You lied. Why did you adopt me? Why did you adopt me? Why did you adopt me? Okay, we did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. How is that the next? Get out of here. That cannot be the end of July tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 30th. It's always a day ahead. You're always a day away. I don't like that. I don't like that it's the end of July. I don't like my summer going away. So I know there's still a whole month of August, but I don't like it. I remember even being in high school and saying, oh gosh, there's still a month of August. There's still a whole month of August. I hate it. It went too fast then. It's going too fast now. Okay. I'm going to put the I'm going to put the numbers in for the chat. Hold on. For Patreons and members. Patreons and members. Da, 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 da. Patreon and members, what you are. Okay, let's see. Do Patreons first. Patreon and members. Okay. Patreon is done. And now members. Hang on, I gotta do the members. Gotta do the members. Join the membership if you want to go, or Patreon. You can join it. We have like 4 different plans that are less than a cup of coffee, and they really help to support the channel, and I really appreciate it when you do that and you become a member and you show that you support the channel. That's really important. I'm very appreciated. Okay, let's see. I've got to put this out for members now. Come on. The heck? What is going on? Okay. Oh my gosh, this is not letting me write the post. Okay, now. No, that was Scooter. That was Scooter doing that, Heart. Not me. Scooter was doing that. Be mad at Scooter. Come on, everybody. Come on, everyone. What are you going to make me do? End this? End this? Oh, you're coming. Okay, I thought you wanted me to end it before anybody would come up. Don't be scared. Don't be shy. Okay, good night, everybody. I'm going to end it because everybody's shy to come up before I end it. So I'm going to end it now. Maybe tomorrow we'll get some of you to become members that are not members or gift memberships. That's a good thing to really help support the channel. Very good thing. But we'll try for that tomorrow. Otherwise, you can do it right now to come and join the movie. All right, but I'm going to end this. Let me find where's the thing to end this. And we'll see you tomorrow if you're not coming to the movie. Okay? God bless and prayers. We'll see you later. Be good.